welcome to the Geriatric Millennials. This is Jayme.
And this is Beth.
And we are two oldish, youngish ladies. What are
Well, I'm not talking about anything. You're talking about a life-changing experience.
That's right.
Yes.
I wasn't sure how to word it, but we went to Greece.
Yeah.
My family went to Greece, and I'm back. And I have never, it's the first time I've ever been to Europe, and my worldview has shifted. My mind has expanded.
Oh, wow.
And my experience has just, I'm in love. I'm in love. It was so amazing. It was beautiful. I felt like everything was look, you know how you can do a filter on pictures and stuff like that to make them look more vivid and beautiful. And it's just like, that was the reality. Like everything. Yes.
Yeah.
All these bright, beautiful flowers, like overhanging all these cobblestone walkways with everything white, and then pops of color with shutters painted shades of blue. And then the water having just the most incredibly clear, crystal clear, vivid turquoise and blues. Like, it was unreal.
Again, the pictures were incredible. And it felt like you were there for 6 years. I was like, we're into week 2, I think, of Greece. Like, you guys were there for a long time.
We went to Athens first. And so, by the way, like, my husband is so amazing, and he loves to research and plan travel type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he planned it and researched it all. And I would come across some things, on Instagram or whatever about Greece, because I started looking for stuff, and I would send it to him, and he was always 2 steps ahead of me. Like, I already know that. I already checked that. Like, he was way ahead. And so, and I was okay with that. I offered to, pick places or research or do things. And it was kind of like, it's okay. You don't have to do that.
Aww.
Like, I got it, you know? And he had booked all of our accommodations. He'd booked our ferry rides. And it was wonderful. And then he had ideas for restaurants and things for different meals, but it was very flexible. It wasn't like anything was set in stone, except for, some of the transportation and stuff. But he had arranged our car rental, like all of the things. It was so amazing to be able to go on that trip and like not to do any of that work.
That's like the fantasy of travel.
It really was.
My gosh.
And then my mom joined us, and we had invited her to come, and my mom's 76. And she had never been anywhere like that, and never even been on, she kept calling it a holiday. Like, it was just so cute. She's like, I've never really been on a holiday. Like, we didn't do holidays. And it's true. Her and my dad, they did travel. They lived in different countries and stuff, but they never took vacations. They didn't really do that. And my dad wasn't a beach guy or anything. And we are. And so a lot of our vacation was on the beach. And it was just funny because I would tease my mom. I'm like, you immediately adapted. Like, you
this is your life
you
now.
had no problem just, figuring it out.
Yeah.
She's just like laid down, and she was good, but she kept up with us too. I mean, I was impressed with her. Oh my gosh. We had adventures, we had relaxation. Where do I even begin?
So just give me a lowdown. Like, where did you go?
Okay.
Like,
we started off, we went to Athens.
Okay.
And this is a 10-hour time change.
Okay.
So that's a lot. And also the trip getting there, I do have to tell you this.
Yeah.
We're at our very first gate, and they start asking if anybody wants to volunteer for a different flight, and they would get a $2,000 voucher with Air Canada.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, we're going to go, we don't want to change our stuff but then we're like, well, let's just find out what other flights.
Yeah.
Like, if the other flight isn't very long from now,
it could work.
It could work. And so we did that, Beth.
Shut up.
So our family plus my mom, we have $10,000 worth of Air Canada vouchers.
Oh my gosh.
And guess how many hours later we got into Athens than we would have?
What?
Only 3.
Oh my gosh.
Only 3. I was like, for 3 hours,
$10,000 for 3 hours.
Yes,
That's
so my mom has her own voucher of $2,000, right?
Yeah.
And then $2,000 for the 4 of us, because our oldest changed his mind last minute and did not join us on the trip to Greece. He went home and had a staycation on his own. And so, so there's 4 of us. So yeah, we have $8,000 worth of vouchers.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
we'll have to pay taxes on any of the flights that we use it on, but you can use it, and you don't have to use it all at once. Like, we just have to book within a year.
Oh, so
we don't even have to use it within a year.
Crazy.
So we're going to plan another trip.
That's like a crazy motivator to get something planned.
Oh my gosh. And $2,000 is no small amount, because I was thinking, they'd offer like a $500 voucher.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a $2,000 voucher
No.
just for like that? Anyway, neither had we. We jumped on it. We got it. So
That's a full flight somewhere.
oh my gosh, it's
Or
for
a couple
sure.
of different
Or
flights,
a couple,
depending.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
so
anyway. Wow.
So that was cool.
That's starting off the trip
But
with
what
a bang.
It was. But what happened was we got on a different flight, and so instead of flying through Montreal, we flew through Frankfurt, Germany.
Okay.
And so that was kind of cool. However, the airport in Frankfurt, Germany was very unorganized. And Europe has this new thing that they've implemented just recently where every single person who enters has to have their biometrics taken. You have to do a photo, you have to do fingerprints, and it's just like a bit more involved and it takes more time. And so they had this bottleneck and it took a while to get through, and we almost missed our connection. Like Tony and the kids ran ahead and then I and my mom were behind because they were going through my mom's suitcase, which was super annoying. And Tony's like, I'm just going to go. We're at gate A50. And he just took off. And so then once my mom and I were ready to go, we ran.
Oh my
literally
gosh.
ran. And this gate was so far.
Okay. You need to remind people, how old is your
My
mom?
mom is 76. And it's so funny because, so we have our carry-ons, right? We did not check our bags.
Yeah.
We have a carry-on and a backpack. And we're literally running. And those walkways that are moving and people will stand on those instead of walk. And it just like takes you along. We got on those and I was in the lead and I was like, excuse me, like on the side. I'm like coming through on their left, like, excuse me, thank you, excuse me, like the whole time running on those, passing everyone. I think we were on probably at least 4 of those.
Oh my gosh.
Also, we had to take an elevator.
Oh my gosh.
It was so far away. I was like, where is gate A50? It was so far. And we finally get there. We're dripping. I'm literally dripping sweat, out of breath. My mom, I'm just like, Mom, are you coming? Like, I told her all the pickleball has prepared her for this. I was like, it's a dang good thing you play pickleball, woman, because she had to run and she did. And she kept up. It was incredible. We made it. Tony was the only one there waiting with the person at the gate because everyone else was through.
Yeah.
And they were waiting for us because he told them they're going to be here. They're going to be here. And they were so irritated. Like, we can't wait. And so if Tony hadn't gone ahead, we all would have missed it. And so, but then we had to go downstairs. Yeah. Like we had to carry our suitcases down a couple flights of stairs, which seriously, like, what do you mean? And then we had to get on a bus.
Oh my gosh.
This is after we get through the gate, which usually you just go get directly on a plane. I've never done this before. We get on this bus, which is packed, which is waiting for us. Yeah. They're like, hurry up. We get on this bus. Then we proceed to drive around this airport for no less than at least 15 full minutes. I am not kidding you. Driving to where our airplane was.
That's insane.
It is so insane. I couldn't even believe it was real because I was like, what in the world? Who made this plan of this gate and this plane like being so far apart? We drove and drove and drove and drove until we finally came to this plane, which wasn't attached to any, in
a field, just out.
I mean, there are planes everywhere, but it was just like out there where we had to then disembark the bus and then climb the stairs up into the plane. Oh my gosh. When I tell you I was drenched in sweat, I'm no lie. I was so sweaty because of just running and just trying to catch this plane. Anyways, we did make it. And then we got there and we had this cute Airbnb that was a little like apartment. And then we had a couple of days in Athens where we explored. We saw the Parthenon or the Acropolis. And we did, I don't know, we got food, we walked. I think the first day, we walked a total of 10 miles.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even kidding because I looked at the steps and translated it and I was like, wow, no wonder. Like we were so tired. I can't even believe my mom did that.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of like shopping and like walking through the streets and like everything. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to explain it. And of course it's a tourist trap, right? Like there's a lot of tourist geared kind of stuff, but it was still really cool. And it was all kind of stuff that was beautiful and fun to look at. And So yeah, we spent a couple of days. We went to the Acropolis Museum, which I felt like I really wanted to do, but then in reality, I don't really love museums. And I was like, this is kind of educational. And I just,
oh my gosh.
I was like, it's very historical.
We're like where civilization started.
I mean,
no
it was very cool, but it was also kind of like, I just kind of got a glazed over look after a while. Cause I was like, there's just a lot of white statues everywhere with words. And I didn't want a guided tour because I did not want to feel an obligation that I had to listen to somebody talk about everything that I really didn't actually care about for a couple of hours, which sounds maybe kind of bad, but I just knew like we would have been over it. We would have been like, okay, just moving on. Like I just wanted to move on. Yeah. We were all kind of on that same page. Like we wanted to see everything, but then we were like, okay, we're done with the museum.
Got it.
Like, let's go have some Greek salad and, sangria or something. And so anyways, we had a couple of days in Athens, which was great. And then we took a ferry to the first island we went to called Milos. This was so beautiful. It's not a huge, there are so many islands in Greece, by the way, like 6,000.
Oh,
many, not all of them are inhabited.
Yeah.
But we went to this one called Milos and we rented a car. We originally were going to have 2 cars. And because our oldest didn't come with us, I was like, can we just get one, please? Like, will it work? Because you have to have small cars because everything is narrow. The streets are so narrow.
Yeah.
And you just don't want a big car. But I also really didn't want to drive.
Yeah. Are they the opposite side?
No,
drivers?
they're not, thankfully. Oh, that's good. But it was a stick shift, and I just didn't want to be separated from my tour guide, which was Tony, and I didn't want to have to drive and always try to find 2 parking spots and like all of that. Anyways, it worked out. We were able to get one car. We stayed in the cutest boutique hotel. We had an ocean view, and then we did some adventures. We went to this place called Sarakaniko Beach, and it felt like we were on another planet. I've never seen anything like it, Beth. Everything was like this white stone that was kind of like smooth and had craters and holes and ridges and stuff in it, but it was vast. And it felt like we were on what I think the moon would be like, what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
When you look at the moon and you see like this white thing with, that's what it felt like we were on.
Yeah.
Like we were on a moonscape surrounded by these brilliant blue waters. And it was a calm day. It wasn't windy. It was incredible. And that's where we went cliff jumping. So that's what it's known for.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I'm terrified actually to jump off of these things. Like I didn't actually really want to, but my kids were into it. And so was my husband. And they jumped off these super high cliffs. And fortunately, like other people were doing it. So you knew like, it wasn't just like, because cliff jumping is risky and you have to be careful. You have to do it properly and stuff. Anyways, they did it. I did actually jump off. I mean, it was kind of high. For me, it was high.
Yeah.
And my mom did too.
Oh my gosh.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, we just kept going on and on to each other about how cool this place was. It was just so magical. It was so beautiful. It was just like, wow. So loved that day. That was one day. And then another day we did a boat tour, which we had a private boat. And so we didn't do it with a group of people. It was just our family and the boat driver. And he was great. And he took us to like extra places and it was a full day. And we went into a bunch of different caves and we did a little bit of snorkeling off the boat. And it was absolutely magical. So those were the 2 kind of like adventure type days. And then we took a ferry to another island. And that one, the ferry itself was an adventure.
Oh, no.
So there was wind. It was very, very windy.
Yeah.
So the seas were rough. And when I tell you that this ferry, it was a smaller ferry, that this ferry was like rocking and jerking and like to the point where I thought we might capsize. It is no exaggeration.
Oh, terrifying.
I am telling you right now. So they told everyone we had to stay in our seats. And I was like, okay, I think we need to take some Dramamine. So we took Dramamine, except Tony didn't take it because it started off real rocky right from the get-go. And it just got worse and worse. And the guy who was working there was like holding on to the wall and seats and went around no less than 4 times handing out puke bags to everyone.
Oh, gosh.
And there were people puking all around us the entire time. It was unreal, Beth. I could hardly believe that it was happening.
That's so gross.
I was like, I don't think this is normal.
No.
I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is a normal experience on a ferry. I mean, there were things falling off because they had a kind of a snack bar or whatever, things like sliding and fall. I mean, it was wild. Like I almost have no words. It was just unreal. And I tried to take a video of it, but you can't tell from the video like how it was, because you would see the horizon in the window and it would like completely disappear, and then it would like come up the top, and then it would like go down the bottom.
Oh gosh,
like,
no.
Beth, it was so insane. And so we were on this ferry. There was, I think, 3 legs of the journey, and because they stopped at different islands before we got to the island that we were going to. And on the last stop, they like kicked everybody off, and they're like, you have to get off. You're getting on a different ferry. Like, we won't take this one anymore.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. And they're like, run. Like they shooed us off of this ferry. And then we had to run to another ferry and get on that ferry for the last leg of the journey because it was just too rough.
Was the other one bigger?
And the other one was way bigger. And like you could tell a little bit, but not nearly as much. And that one was only about 20 minutes long.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't very far away. Oh. So anyway, that was an adventure too. And the rest of that day, we were so wiped out and tired. And I think it's from the Dramamine that we had. And so we were kind of groggy and just kind of like out of it. And so that almost felt like a waste of a day. But then the rest of the time on that island, we just kind of went to the beach. And then in the evening, we'd go out for dinner and go to the places where, you know, they have all the little shops, and it's just so cute and beautiful. And the thing is, everybody is out at night. Which, I mean, it was just so different, you know, 10 o'clock at night, streets packed, families, all ages, everyone's out there eating, drinking, having a good time until like, who knows what time. It's just so different. I was like, what? Like, why is it's so late? Yeah. And like, that's when everybody eats.
Which is wild.
So late.
Yeah.
And so I guess they have a siesta culture where they take a break in the afternoon, but we didn't really encounter that because I think we were in the touristy areas.
Yeah.
But we did notice in the mornings, nothing is open. I mean,
like what time do things open?
I don't even know. Like
not
afternoon.
8. Oh, okay. Not 9 a.m. Not
no,
10.
absolutely not.
Okay.
Like you can't like stores and all that. Like, no, they're not open. No, it's nightlife. Yeah. That's when everything comes alive and everyone's out there. But, we stayed, that was our splurge. We stayed in it it was a villa, which was kind of like a house, and it had our own pool, which I never got in the pool, but I'm a wuss when it comes to water temperature. I mean, a couple of us did get in the pool a little bit, but most of the time we were at the beach, and they just have all these restaurants all along the beach, and they all have like beach umbrellas and loungers, and you can just rent one of those or like purchase a certain amount of food at their establishment, and then you get the umbrella. And we just laid there and ordered food and drink and laid on the beach and went swimming and just hung out, and it was incredible. It was so fun. It was so beautiful. And ouzo is like the Greek liquor.
Is that the licorice one?
Yes.
Okay.
I love black licorice. So that's
you were
what it
into
tastes
it?
like. I was so into it. I was like, can I have some ouzo? Like every day. I was like drinking ouzo, and it's so cheap there. And it was so good. So anyway, yeah, so that's what we did. And then the very last day we went to another island just for one night. We had like 2 full days there, and it was a really small island. And every island we went to was pretty different from each other. And we did some swimming and walking along the coastline there. And it was just lovely. It was lovely. One more thing I noticed that was so unique to me that I'd never seen before was cats. Beth, there were cats everywhere, just everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were so just a part of the community. Nobody was treating them like they were a pest. Nobody was like, people just put out food for them. They're like community pets, but everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's like
Fantasy.
little people put food and water out for them, like all along the streets and stuff like that. And like, they're just around because they have, restaurants and stuff like, and tables and chairs are just like in the street. They're just like, or like right next to the street, like just like all out. And that's where all the cats are. and their cats are just wandering around. They'll come curl up under your table, or they're like on the ledge next to you, or they're just walking around. And so we started a game with my kids where we would count every day how many cats we saw.
How was Tony doing with all the
He was
cats?
fine because he was outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's super allergic.
Yeah.
That's why you're asking. But he was totally fine. And it was just funny. And then my kids started naming the cats. And so every day we would count and we would name the cats we saw. And it was just so fun. It was like a really cool part of the experience. I mean, and they were so cute, like so many cute cats. And there were a couple that looked like they were a little in rough shape, but for the most part, they all looked like happy and healthy. And then, I mean, I didn't let my kids pet them. I just was a little nervous because they're not, I mean,
you never know.
You never know. And they're not like house cats in somebody's house necessarily, but there were a few that had collars, but most of them are just like out there, just living their cat life. Like just in every single town we went to a little mountain village at one point. We were driving through different towns. We saw them everywhere. They're literally everywhere on every island, and for sure all over Athens. Like it was cool.
What a nice little like surprise nugget.
I know. And I had heard, like somebody had said before we went something about cats being there. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, it is a big thing.
Okay. I need to know more details on what you ate.
Oh,
like what was some of the best dishes you had?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the Greek yogurt. So my question before we went was we know we have Greek yogurt here.
Yeah.
It's called Greek yogurt, and it's different than just something called yogurt because it's thicker and it's usually higher in protein and it's just like a different texture and stuff. And that's what we know of as Greek yogurt, right? So my question was, is Greek yogurt as we know it just yogurt in Greece? Or in Greece, do they call it Greek yogurt? And I didn't actually ever ask anybody that question. I just ate the yogurt and it was so good. It was the best yogurt I've ever had in my life. And I had it pretty much almost every single day. And their frozen yogurt is different than the frozen yogurt we know.
Okay.
I really think that their frozen yogurt is more just like yogurt that they freeze or something. Like, it's a lot. It has a different kind of like texture and it's more creamy than the frozen yogurt we get here, but it was absolutely delicious. So I ate that a lot with fruits and honey and maybe some nuts in there for breakfast. And then they have, what I was surprised about the food was there was a lot of potatoes. There was a lot more potatoes than I was really prepared for. They serve a lot of French fries as a side with whatever meat you might order. Lots of meat. They do meat. And my favorite thing is like a gyro. And so but there it's different. And there were a couple times where it was like American gyro, on the menu. Cause that is when you have the meat like wrapped in a pita bread and it has like, tzatziki or whatever sauce and some vegetables and usually some French fries in there. And that's like wrapped. But what was one of the most common things was basically that, but deconstructed on a plate.
Oh, okay.
And I really liked that. So I actually had that different times. Tony was the one that was the most adventurous with food and tried a lot of the different Greek dishes. But for him, he really likes spice or heat.
Okay.
Like pepper, like hot spice. And they don't really have that.
Oh. Was he feeling everything was a little bland then?
He was. Whereas I was just like, this is great. I loved it. I loved it. And the Greek salad with the feta cheese, I'm telling you, was
the best.
It was so delicious. I think we had Greek salad and Greek yogurt every day. So I was happy.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's like an incredible trip.
It really was. And everybody was in good health, thankfully. Cause that can, change the
100%.
My son had a bit of a cold for the first few days, but it didn't slow him down at all. And I was just so grateful. Tony, he might not want me to share this, but like my husband, he had giant bruises on the underside of both of his arms from cliff jumping.
Oh, yeah.
Like landing on the water with his arms, I guess. Anyway, that was kind of, that's actually kind of funny to me because I was like, what happened to you? He had these massive bruises. He said they didn't hurt, but maybe he was just being tough. I don't know. But I was just grateful. Like I was always kind of on edge with my mom, like bringing up the rear and making sure like she was in front of me. Cause any misstep, there's no sidewalks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's really no sidewalks and there's a lot of cobblestone and there's just very narrow streets and there's just a lot of, potential to trip, I guess, or twist an ankle or whatever. And then we were also walking on beach paths and sand and different things like that. And so I was kind of nervous. I was just like, please, like nobody hurt themselves, particularly my mom, but everyone was fine. And I was so glad. So yeah, it was magical.
Amazing.
It was amazing. I am so grateful we got to do that. And like, I loved it. I would highly recommend. I would go back in a heartbeat. We did encounter, some European culture on the beaches a few different times. There was some, topless, which is just normal, I guess, in Europe.
Yeah.
And not here much.
Nope.
And so that was a little bit
eye-opening.
Yeah.
Educational.
Or just, yeah. I'm trying to think of the right word. It was just like, it was a little bit uncomfortable in the, cause you're just not used to it. You're like looking like, what's
do
happening?
I look? Yeah.
Yeah. Where do I look? But I also really want to look.
Duh. If you're going to show me your nibbits, I'm going to look.
Yeah. I wanted to.
Yeah.
So there's that topless, but then also just like full nude, like here and there, like we would encounter somebody just naked on the beach, just completely naked, men usually.
Okay.
And so, with my 13-year-old daughter, that was also educational.
Yep, there you go.
And, just, I don't, ripping the Band-Aid off and so to speak, like this is, nothing great to look forward to here in terms of revealing, the naked form of a male, which actually that was at the very beginning of the trip with all the statues and all the Greek art and stuff. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, they're naked. Like they're naked, Mom. And I was like, yeah, they are. And so, I mean, that was kind of like, initiation to the real thing on the beach later. And so she was just like, okay, just, avoid the nudes, as we were walking by. She's like, sometimes they would go ahead and scout out places and then she'd be like, okay, there's nudes here. And so it was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
We didn't make a big deal of it, but I mean, that was just part of the experience, I guess. I mean, it wasn't intentional. We never went to a quote unquote nude beach, but there was naked people. And it's just like, nobody says that it does anything. I was just there. They're just like,
because it's normal.
It's just normal. It's just part of, I guess, life. I don't know.
It's culture.
Yeah. There we go.
Culture.
Yeah. So.
And now you have $8,000 to look forward to for another trip.
So we got to figure out where we're going to go.
Yeah.
And I don't know where. I mean, Air Canada flies
everywhere.
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's exciting.
If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.